These are the Sunday recommendations for my free email list for October the 23rd, 2022. I've now been offering the Sunday recommendations for 5 years. Many thanks to all of you who have supported me financially or have encouraged me by letting me know how much the recommendations matter to you. Sunny Sundays is a compilation of my favorite recommendations in the categories of painting, sculpture, architecture, decorative arts, museums and exhibitions, music, movies and TV, novels, dramas, short stories, and poetry. Of the 172 recommendations included, 54 were originally sent only to my financial supporters. Because this project is part nostalgia and part promo for those who are not supporters, I've included my favorite works by Henry Kitchell Webster, a play and 3 short stories. Of the 15 poems, only 5 appeared in Starry Solitudes earlier this year. Sunny Sundays has 335 pages, about 170 illustrations, and indexes of authors, artists, museums, and titles. Signed pre-publication copies will have an image of the St. Gaudens Walking Liberty coin on the spine. Deadline for pre-publication orders is November the 7th. Even with the somewhat unpredictable delivery times of Amazon and USPS, you should have a copy in hand by Christmas. The price is $30 including shipping. The printing is the quality of Starry Solitudes, my Hamilton books, and my Webster editions, rather than the quality of my art history books, such as Innovators in Sculpture, Innovators in Painting, and Artist Entrepreneurs. That is a more expensive level of printing on Amazon, and it would have jacked up the price considerably. On to the recommendations. This is the 7th and final in my series on the St. Gaudens National Historical Park. It includes photos from inside St. Gaudens' home, the nearby temple, and one final portrait. Second recommendation. Edgar Guest, who lived 1881 to 1959. Guest, a native of Birmingham, England, lived most of his life in Detroit, where he published his first poem in 1898. For decades, his optimistic poems, more than 11,000 of them, were favorites of Americans. When I was a kid, I memorized the last 8 lines of this poem, and that tells you a lot about me. I'll tell you when we get to that part. Cant is the worst word that's written or spoken, doing more harm than slander and lies. On it is many a strong spirit broken, and with it many a good purpose dies. It springs from the lips of the thoughtless each morning and robs us of courage we need through the day. It rings in our ears like a timely sent warning, and laughs when we falter and fall by the way. Cant is the father of feeble endeavor, the parent of terror and half-hearted work. It weakens the efforts of artisans clever, and makes the toiler an indolent shirk. It poisons the soul of the man with a vision. It stifles in infancy many a plan. It greets honest toiling with open derision, and mocks at the hopes and the dreams of a man. Cant is a word none should speak without blushing. To utter it would be a symbol of shame. Ambition and courage it daily is crushing. It blights a man's purpose and shortens his aim. Despise it with all of your hatred of error. Refuse it the lodgment it seeks in your brain. Arm against it as a creature of terror, and all that you dream of you someday shall gain. And this is the 8 lines that I memorized coming up. Cant is the word that is foe to ambition, an enemy ambushed to shatter your will. Its prey is forever the man with a mission, and bows but to courage and patience and skill. Hate it with hatred that's deep and undying, for once it is welcomed, 'twill break any man. Whatever the goal you are seeking, keep trying, and answer this demon by saying, I can. Third recommendation, Sir Lawrence Alma Tadema, a settee in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, dating to about 1885. In this settee, designed for the home of one of the Metropolitan Museum's founding members, Alma Tadema used a variety of decorative elements in non-traditional ways. It's an interesting contrast to the home of St. Gaudens, whose furniture is of the same period, but by comparison far more functional. Alma Tadema's piece incorporates ebony, boxwood, sandalwood, cedar, and ivory inlay with incrustations of mother-of-pearl and brass. It's about 5 feet long. The fourth recommendation this week for supporters is another fabulous library. DianeDuranteWriter.com has hundreds of posts on sculpture, painting, architecture, and my other obsessions. To join the free Sunday Recommendations email list, visit the URL that's on your screen or email me. And you can say, "Well done, Diane," or support my work and receive rewards by means of the tip jar on DianeDuranteWriter.com. As always, thank you for listening.